talk about like ideological things, like how do you get your contempt for weakness?
Okay.
It's essential that in America you have a different school system. You have like an A class, a B class, a C, or something like that. In all, we have everybody in the same classroom. So every time we had like the sun was shining, which is seldom does in my hometown, we were allowed to go out earlier, you know, to enjoy the sun. And they, for instance, in a math class, and they could say like, okay, we're going to go out earlier, but not until everybody are done with the tasks the stuff they're doing. So of course, these idiots in the back of the class never finished. So we were just sitting there, and we never got out at all because of some not too smart students in the back. And that is that is the birth of the contempt for weakness, really, I think. And that's in elementary school, of course. My time in Iraq meant for me is that I know more about the Muslim culture than others. So I know that when in Algeria these rebels cut the throats of people, we of course think, oh, this is terrible, why don't they just shoot them? But because of my time in Iraq, I know that it's more honorable to kill face to face. Of course, it was a culture shock, but not that significant, really. And I knew that I was coming back. I knew that this wasn't permanent. It was just 1 year, and we would return.
How old were you?
6 years old when we... 6 and 7 years old. So also I went to Iraq before I started school in Norway. I didn't like it. You have this armed guards, you know, they were just sitting there in a jeep with their Kalashnikovs, you know, doing nothing, looking happy because they did nothing, you know, they were just relaxed, getting paid for doing nothing, which of course is the Arab dream. You know, their version of heaven is like sitting beneath in the shadow of a palm, getting served some cold drinks by virgins. That's their heaven, you know. And that's basically what they do as well. Nothing. I would describe a culture as if you say that you have a people and you have a people's culture. It's pretty much the same relationship between hardware and software and computers. They have to be compatible. It has to be compatible, right? Yeah. So I was raised in the culture that was compatible to my people, so to speak. We did react to many things, like Christianity. That was, but basically it wasn't a problem. Everybody disliked Christianity. We had 1 or 2 Christian guys in school, and they were mobbed. You know, they were harassed. We beat them up, you know, because they were Christian. That was the sole purpose, really. And this is not unique in my neighborhood, so to speak. And the street I was grown up in, for instance, was Odin's Road. The neighbor street was like Frigg's Road. So it was all this Norwegian culture was very close. We had the whole Skjold was the neighbor, you know, the district next to ours. It's a Norse god as well. So all this was very close. Our culture, we felt this was our culture, and we didn't see it threatened in any way at the time, because we were just kids. And we had almost like contests